Your body's probably fighting itself right now, and you have absolutely no idea. Your blood sugar could literally be violently crashing this very second, even though you just finished eating a massive meal.
To figure out why your body is sending you these hidden signals, hit like, subscribe, and drop a quick comment below. Now let's look at the very first major warning sign, the post-meal crash.
Normally, glucose absorbs steadily. But if your body is secretly dealing with this, an intense wave of exhaustion hits you almost instantly. You feel like you need a deep nap before you've even cleared your plate. This happens because of insulin resistance. Think of insulin as a key that unlocks your cells so glucose can actually get in. But when your cells become resistant, that key just breaks. Glucose is physically blocked from getting to your brain and your muscles, which leaves you feeling completely drained.
So your pancreas goes into full panic mode. It pumps out even more insulin to force those cellular doors open, which causes this massive blood sugar spike, followed by a rapid, hard crash exactly 30 to 60 minutes after you eat.
And that brings up a really fascinating medical mystery, right? Why on earth do you intensely crave sugar when your stomach is literally full of food?
Well, that leads us right into the sugar craving cycle. It feels completely backward to go raiding the snack drawer 20 minutes after a huge meal. But here's the biological breakdown. Your blood sugar spikes, then fast crashes. Your brain senses this sudden drop, absolutely panics for fuel, and demands fast, sugary carbs to fix it, totally ignoring the huge amount of energy already sitting right there in your stomach.
Which brings us to sign number 3, stubborn belly fat explained. We're talking about that visceral belly fat that absolutely refuses to budge, no matter how perfectly you diet or how hard you exercise. Why does it stay? Because insulin is your body's primary fat storage hormone. When your insulin levels stay chronically high, it sends a non-stop biological command to store fat directly around your internal organs.
This is exactly why basic calorie deficit diets completely fail you when you're in this metabolic state. High insulin actively blocks your body from breaking down stored fat. If insulin is high, your body is literally being told by its own hormones to hoard fat, not release it. You just can't burn fat when your biology is actively locking the vault.
Now let's look at a visible skin warning.
Beyond those invisible crashes and cravings, there's a physical clue you can actually see called acanthosis nigricans. These are dark, slightly velvety patches of skin, usually showing up around the back of the neck or the underarms. A lot of people mistake this for a shadow or just dirt, but no, it's a direct clinical link to chronically elevated insulin levels circulating in your blood.
Paying attention to these signals is absolutely crucial. Look at this timeline. If day 0 is a type 2 diabetes diagnosis, you usually see prediabetes about 2 years prior. But insulin resistance? That starts showing up 5 full years prior. Catching it early gives you this massive, years-long window to step in and completely reverse direction before things progress.
So how do we fix it? Let's talk about how to desensitize insulin.
Let's empower you to fix that broken key mechanism. Here are the most straightforward, heavily evidence-backed lifestyle tweaks you can start today. First, take short walks right after your meals. Second, prioritize protein and fiber on your plate over refined carbs. Third, dial in your sleep. Get consistent, high-quality rest. And fourth, start strength training regularly. Doing these directly repairs your insulin sensitivity and stops those brutal crashes.
And the why behind the exercise is super cool. Muscle tissue is one of the absolute biggest users of blood sugar in your entire body. When you strength train, or even just take a brisk 10-minute walk after eating, your muscles activate and pull glucose straight out of your blood. They act like a giant sponge, safely soaking up that sugar and taking a massive workload off your poor pancreas.
All right, let's get into the takeaway and next steps.
These signs, the energy crashes, the sudden sugar cravings, and that unmoving belly fat, they are biological cries for help. If this explainer helped you decode your body a little better, please take a quick second to hit that like button and subscribe. We do weekly breakdowns of your biology, and trust me, there is so much more going on inside you than you probably realize.
Before we wrap this up, I really want to hear from you. Have you noticed any of these 3 signs in yourself? Have you dealt with that 30-minute crash, the weird cravings, or that stubborn visceral fat? Drop your experience in the comments below. I literally read them all, and I love seeing what you guys are discovering about your own health.
Just a quick note as we close out, this is general educational information. Always consult a doctor for personal medical advice. If any of what we covered today sounded a little too familiar, talk to your doctor and ask for a simple fasting insulin or an A1C blood test. It's the absolute best way to know exactly where you stand. But here is a totally wild thought to leave you with. What if you do everything right, you perfectly sensitize your insulin, but your belly fat still feels totally impossible to lose? Well, it turns out there is a second hidden hormone working against you, actively blocking your fat loss, and it is not insulin. It's a completely different biological mechanism triggered by our modern lifestyle. We're going to uncover exactly what that is in our next explainer. See you then.